So my name is Taiwo AKIYEMI. I'm married to WALE AKIYEMI.
Really? Okay.
And we have 3 kids. Tomide, Olaolu, and Funaya. 2 boys and a girl.
Yeah, like I was, I've been married 24 years, and it's been wonderful. I think if we were to do it all over again, I'll do it exactly the same way. I'll marry the same person, have the same kids. I'll just relive my life. I introduce myself as a passionate African, but I'm a family person. I don't go out. I don't have a social life. A lot of people who see me outside when I'm working, I'm speaking somewhere and all that, they think I would be an extrovert who would like to go out, but I don't. I can't wait to get home. And it's also very expensive for me when I'm outside because then I'm always on the phone with Taiwo. I love being at home. And I think the wife is to take the credit for that because I think it's the woman that converts a house into a home.
I think you make it a place that your family wants to come back to. A place where there is love, where there is no tension. We're saying where there's no drama, where there's no nagging. You know that a woman who nags, you can be sure that when you're a woman who nags, your husband will go everywhere else but home because nagging just gets on men. Even the Bible says it, you know. So I think you create an atmosphere where your family is happy to come home. Yesterday, something happened. My husband had a meeting in the evening. He had a Rotary meeting. So he came and was telling my daughter, and I was saying, gosh, I have a Rotary meeting, but I don't want to go. You guys tell me not to go. So I said, no, you go. So he loves, that's how he is. He loves, once he gets home, he doesn't want to go anywhere else. And it's a beautiful thing. And you see, when the atmosphere in the house is relaxed and friendly and full of love, you want to come home. Couples that have problems in their marriages, when they first got married, the guy looked forward to coming home. He didn't want to, you know, stay away. So it's that atmosphere of love and being wanted and being appreciated that is lost that makes that happen. Okay, so how did we meet? When I was in, let me think. Okay, let me, I can't remember how old I was, but I was a teenager. Fast forward to like 4 or 5 years later, I'm in uni and there's a big concert on campus. And so I go for the concert and there's this guy on the stage and he's playing Fela's music.
Fela Kuti.
Fela and Nicola, yeah. And so when the spotlight comes on, the hall could take like 3,000 people. So everybody's screaming and shouting. I don't know who this guy is. So the guy has his back to the keyboard is there, but the guy is back in the audience, the crowd. So, and the person sang I was like, wow, this is a very, very nice musician. So the guy plays, he turns on, everybody's screaming and shouting. He sang with his back to the crowd throughout. And when he finished, he walked off the stage. So, you know, I had really, like, who is this guy? Very, very serious wow factor.
It's called attitude.
Then, at some point along there, I now got born again. And when I got born again, maybe a few months later, I go to this fellowship, this amazing fellowship, and they have a keyboardist who plays the keyboard there. So apparently that guy, you see that guy that was, it was the same guy. So then we became friends, but just nothing, just friends. He was the head of the choir. I was a member of the choir. Okay. He had a girlfriend. And so we would talk. The girlfriend was also in the choir. So we're just friends for years. Then he now told me, he and his girlfriend had broken up. The girl in the choir. Actually, they'd broken up for quite a while. And he had told me, and I said, don't worry, I'll pray with you. I'll pray that she will come back. So I was praying, and I was hoping for testimony that, now God has moved and she has come back. Then one day, he actually asked me, he says, I want to tell you something. I said, yeah, tell me. He says, I believe that you are the one. I'm the one that what? I said, no, I'm not the one. Okay, no, you say something.
That was when my suffering began. Everything was okay as long as I was Wale and she was Taiwo and them. Then when I proposed to her and I told her that, you know what, I think, oh man, she treated me so badly.
It was not, all this proposals
No, wait.
You know proposals where you see...
She treated me so badly. I was proposed. Oh, that I didn't come and do...
No, he didn't say, will you marry me? That's not what you said.
Oh, what did I say?
He said something like, actually, he actually said, will you marry me? But you must understand, if you're a friend, if I'm your friend, you don't just ask me to marry you. So it was like, so I thought he was joking. I'm like, of course not. So he said, okay, I'll try again. Will you marry me? So I said, okay. If you can marry in the next 5 seconds. I thought it was a joke. And then from there on, I noticed that this guy, I thought it was a joke. It looks like something is happening.
And then you became nasty.
Yeah, because I wanted to marry a rich man. And he was not rich. He had no money. Every girl wants to marry a rich man. So, and I was so sure I was waiting.
I suffered though. Yeah, I suffered.
I was waiting for this rich man.
No, let me tell you. I would drive from Nairobi, from Lagos to Ibadan. That's a distance of like Nairobi to Nakuru. To go and pick this girl for a 7 o'clock church service on Sunday morning in a church that was 5 minutes from her house. You see, there's a song that said, a movie years ago, that says, why do fools fall in love? I'm telling you, if the thing you have found does not make you a fool, it's not love. Me, I became a complete mumu, complete fool.
And I was really angry.
Imagine, and then after I'll do that, I'll carry her, then she would still not say thank you.
I was angry because...
She would look at me like this, because I
was angry because...
Here's to men that don't give up.
I thought, how... I'm sure ladies understand this, where you feel that there's a season in your life when you know that the guy is around somewhere. You may not know who it is. So I felt I was in that season in my life. And man, this guy should stop, because when Mr. Right comes, he will think I'm taking, and he will... So I kept...
Imagine, and then, so she thought me, I was sent by God to punish her. Can you imagine?
I tried to chase him and he refused.
And then I would get involved. I became friends with her pastor. I was just trying everything. So I became friends with the pastor. Then there was a time they needed a keyboardist to play something. I volunteered though. I said, I would do anything. And this girl treated me so badly.
Because it was not my picture. I wanted a
And that is the problem. A lot of young ladies today have that picture. In fact, her picture was so perfect, we used to call him Mr. Bradford. And
this is the picture that I had. Mr. Bradford would be a Nigerian. He would be tall, dark, and handsome. That's the only place where he ticked. Every other part, he didn't. Mr. Bradford would be either, would that be an architect or an engineer, or maybe like a banker.
Just someone that had a brain.
Someone that had, a
working brain.
No, someone that had money. It was not, the brain was not the issue.
So you would have married a rich fool.
So anyway, I wanted someone.
Wait, you'd have married a rich fool. I'm sorry.
I wanted someone that had impeccable manners. The kind of person that, that if you went to a 5-star restaurant, and you have all the forks and all the knives and the spoons, he would know the fish knife, he would know the knife for the butter, he would know the fork for dessert, he would know everything. But I also wanted somebody who appreciated my culture, because I'm Yoruba, who appreciated my culture, and who was so well spoken. His English was, and so every time he came, I'm like, gosh.
Didn't I have all those ones?
You only tick for tall, dark, and handsome.
I didn't speak good English. What's your problem? I didn't speak good English.
Okay, he spoke good English, but this is my friend. I didn't know that he had
finesse.
Yeah, that's the word. I didn't know that he had finesse. I didn't know that he had any. I didn't know that, because when I knew him as my friend, I didn't know that he had finesse. And I used to read these romantic novels, Mills and Boone. I must have read like 300.
Which have messed up the thinking of a lot of young ladies.
It had framed my picture for the kind of man I would marry. And the Mills and Bones guys were almost always rich. They almost always had their own house, had money and all that. So all he qualified for was thick, dark, and handsome. How many girls see their friends who are guys and think, this must be my husband? You don't think
You're not going to marry your enemy now.
What you would think is, when you see your friend who is a guy, you'll be like, nice guy. And you'll be telling that nice guy about all the guys who want to go out with you. You're not thinking, this guy who is your friend could be the one, because he has nothing. Because,
let me tell you, we have a place in Nigeria called Sokoto. Sokoto is very, very far. Now, your trouser, in my language, is called Sokoto. So there's a proverb that what you are looking for in Sokoto is in the pocket of your Sokoto.
True. So it's true. So let me put it this way. I felt I was in the season when my husband was going to show up. I felt it in my spirit. And I was like, Wale is going to spoil the show, because this guy is going to come and think I'm taking and then go off. And so I kept trying to chase him. Please don't let... I didn't say... But my heart was, I'm keeping myself, I'm waiting for this amazing person. You will spoil the show. So The more he asked, the more I chased him. The more I chased him, the more determined he was. I'm like, ah. So then finally.
No, I have to say this part. Finally, I said, you know what? Because you have to understand, at the time when I'm chasing her and she's doing all this drama, even me, I'm being chased. Yes.
And I wanted him to follow the person that was chasing him.
Yes, I was being chased by one royal hotness. So, so I got to a point, I now said, you know what? Enough is enough. I am not going to take all this anymore. I was going to do some business in London, and I got my ticket. I said, I'm going. I'm going. And I was on my way out, and then finally, I suffered. I remember I was now going to go to England. I had to go and say bye to my godfather, also the bishop, and then drive to Lagos because this is in a place called Ibadan. And then while I'm doing that, she now says, you know what? On your way back to Lagos, stop over and see me. So I did. And when I, love can give you bulletproof. So you'll be receiving insults like this, and you will know you are receiving insults because love has scattered your head. That's where I was. Love has scattered my brain. My brain was jammed. So the insults were coming like this. So I got to her and to say bye-bye because I'm going to England, and I was telling her, you know what, just forget it. Forget that I ever asked. And then she said to me, and when I got back, she said, I'm going to marry you. And she went very business-like.
I I'm going to marry. I just said yes.
She said, yeah. And then you gave me this very silly note.
Yes,
Wait, you gave me a very silly note. Pastor said that this day I agree to marry you. Now listen to insult. She said, and I am not looking to you to look after me. God will take care of me. Can you imagine that insult?
Okay, so,
can you imagine that insult? That God will take care of me. So me, I was just. So why then did you say yes? I was supposed to be unnecessary.
I think what happened was at that point, when he said he was going, I think at that point, for lack of a better word, I finally did hear. It dawned on me that this is the guy, and I was shattered. I was like, gosh, God, after the way I've just served you, why is this? Anyway, I said yes, but he still didn't have money, which was a major issue. So that's why I wrote that letter, so that from day one it would be clear. I'm not looking to take care of him. I've said yes, but God will take care of him because he had no money. He didn't have money.
She said yes. So, of course, I cancelled my plans to go to England for business, I'm a complete mumu. I'm a complete fool. So I just stayed. I said, Now the chick has landed. The eagle has that. So can you believe? So she said yes. A week later, a friend of ours comes and says, Taiwo, you're still single. What are you going to do?
No, he said, what kind of guy?
What kind of guy? And then she now described that Mr. Bradford, that old guy. That funny guy. She described that guy, and she has already said yes to me. My heart began to pain me physically. At that point, I said, you know what? It's over. I'm not doing anymore.